welcome back to our bi-weekly segment of Expert Column, Quarantine Edition. Today we will be discussing conflicts in relationships. We will discuss what conflict is, how often conflict happens, what starts conflict, how to deal with conflict, and how to end conflict. These past several weeks have definitely been difficult, but we thought we would shed some light on the tensions being experienced with your loved ones. Now, interdependent couples are more likely to experience conflict as they spend a lot of time with each other. So, to start off, here are some tweets off Twitter showing a more comedic take at these conflicts. Conflict occurs when someone's wishes or actions obstruct or impede those of someone else. As an example, let's say Jessica prefers her living space to be clean and tidy, so she will make sure to clean up after herself. But her partner, Alex, doesn't care about it being tidy and tends not to pick up after himself. In this example, there is a difference in desires that will eventually lead to conflict. Conflict is unavoidable and can happen between anyone and everyone. There's no way of escaping it. We see, however, that conflict is more frequent in some relationships than others. Conflict is quite frequent in relationships. Studies have found that dating couples experience 2.3 conflicts per week. Spouses experience 7 mild conflicts per 2 weeks. And spouses also report to experience 1 to 2 more extreme conflicts per month. Personality, attachment style, stage of life, similarity, stress, sleep, and alcohol are all reported to increase the frequency that people experience conflict. Conflict doesn't start out of nowhere. There's always some contributing factor that gets the ball rolling. Disagreements can be built from 2 major factors. The first being dialectics. These are opposing motivations that someone experiences. Dialectics have 4 different types: independence versus connections, self-disclosure versus privacy, consistency versus change, and integration versus separation from friends. Changing in desires can cause conflict because of the sudden shifts in motives a person experiences from their partner. The other major factor to conflict is instigating events. The 4 categories, criticism, illegitimate demands, rebuffs, and cumulative annoyances, all lead to some sort of conflict. Criticisms are judgments of someone based off perceived faults or mistakes. Illegitimate demands are requests that the other feels is unfair to question. Rebuffs are asking for something but not receiving it, and cumulative annoyances are trivial issues that build up over time. After conflict begins, people tend to try and resolve the issues. Attributional conflict may occur, and couples argue over whose opinion is right and whose is wrong. Couples must also decide to engage in the conflict or avoid them altogether. If engagement does occur, the situation may escalate and worsen the tension, causing nasty things to be said. Another outturn may be the demand-withdraw pattern, which we see one partner criticize and make demands, and the other partner withdraws and becomes defensive. Negotiation happens when the couple works towards a more practical behavior, or in accommodation, a partner's willingness to respond constructively. There are 4 couple types that deal with conflict. There's volatile, validator, avoiders, and hostiles. Volatiles argue frequently with passion, yet keeping their tempers down due to the fondness they have for each other. Validators fight politely and calmly, acting as collaborators, and avoiders try to avoid confrontation and try to fix issues on their own. Hostiles fight with criticism and the intent to hurt the other. At the end of the day, no one wants conflict and would rather end it than keep it going. There are 5 ways to end conflict: separation, domination, compromise, integrative agreement, and structural improvement. Separation is when both partners withdraw without resolving the conflict. Domination is when one partner gets their way. In compromise, neither person wins, but also neither person loses. Integrative agreements are when both partners win through satisfying their partner's goals. Structural improvement is when both partners win and they grow the relationship due to it. Alright, we will end this segment with some closing thoughts. Conflict is not detrimental to a relationship and can actually be healthy. There are also better ways to go about conflict with your partner. Just remember to keep things positive. Alright, That's all the time we have for tonight, so make sure to join us next week as we discuss power and violence in relationships. Thank you and good night.